What's up with it, YouTube? You understand me? What's up with the player posse, man? You know what I'm saying? We back at it again. Episode Trey. You know what I'm talking about? The third. Yeah, man. Had to get back at it. You know what I'm saying? Normally I get at y'all after I do my Los Bago podcast. The homies was, you feel me? I don't know what they was on this week. Normally we do once a week, and I want to do more of my own personal content more frequently than once a week. You know what I'm saying? But I always make a point to, after I do that, to make sure I do this. It's kind of like, okay, if you're gonna do that, don't leave this behind. So it kind of forces me to do this. But for whatever reason, they had other things going on and we didn't get to it. But I kind of want to talk about that today. You know what I'm saying? How that inspired me to make sure that I stay on point, even though others might not be on point. You know what I'm saying? Before we get into that, you know what I like to do. You know what I'm saying? Some quick little game, some consistent game before we jump into the real game. So we're gonna start off with fragrance of the day. Nothing crazy. This is just some Calvin Klein, some CK Aqua. You know what I'm saying? Blue fragrance. This is more like a summertime fragrance, daytime fragrance. Could be like an activity fragrance. We still in the winter months, but I wore this today because it was sunny outside, and that's just how I was feeling. You know what I'm saying? I had shorts on, you know what I'm saying? So that's just how I was feeling, man. So I threw that on. Nice little, you feel me? We got the kicks of the day. You know how I do. The J's. You know what I'm saying? We keep it Jordaned up. We got the low top 11 Jones with the leather uppers. The black on here, the patent leather got a little bit. I don't want to say it's candy. You know what I'm saying? You know how that candy paint. You know how niggas from the Bay do it with the scrapers, man. With the little candy paint leather, but patent leather. But nah, I don't even know how to explain it. But you got a little something on it with the good leather upper. This is tough. Great material. Great shoe. 11's one of the great shoe low top. I really don't do too many low tops, but if Jordan come with the heat, I'm copping. And I don't cop all Jordans. You know what I'm saying? I just cop the ones that I like. You know what I'm saying? Book of the day, The Curious Mind. I first heard this on an audio book, and then I decided to buy the book, and I did read the book. So I didn't just listen to the audio book like the previous, you know what I'm saying? But I did both. This book is about a guy who makes films, and the way he stumbled upon a lot of his ideas for films was the questions that he asked a lot of people, a lot of greats, a lot of influential people, a lot of people that inspired him. He asked them questions and gave him game on how to, further his career. Asked them questions about their lives, you know what I'm saying, their experiences. And, it's just a great way to learn how to ask questions, the importance of asking questions, and the rewards of asking questions. So go ahead and get this, A Curious Mind. You know what I'm saying? Stay curious and stay thirsting for knowledge. Let's get into this game, though. Today was a chill day. You know what I'm saying? We had the good football Sunday. You know what I'm saying? It was the Eagles and the Redskins, or the Commanders. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the Redskins, though, man. I ain't never had no problem with them, but I'm a Cowboys fan, so Eagles number one. Dookie. So we ain't never rooting for them. But shout out to Jalen Hurts. I rock with Jalen Hurts. That's a smooth dude right there. You know what I'm saying? He always keep it real player. He's always a gentleman on screen. You know what I'm saying? He ain't out there acting crazy. You know what I'm saying? He's a good example as far as visually what we see. I don't know about his personal life, but what he presents and what he shows, I think he's a good example for young men to follow. And I double hate Saquon Barkley because he's a dirty New York Giant. Then he want to be a filthy Eagle. But shout out to that man. You know what I'm saying? He's a dog. He did his thing. You know what I'm saying? He been doing his thing, and he deserved to be on a better team. You know what I'm saying? Better than the Giants as far as talent and skill wise, both them teams is terrible. You know what I'm saying? Cowboys. Shout out Dez Bryant. You know what I'm saying? That was a catch. We'll get to that a whole another time because, man, shout out Ezekiel Elliott, man, and Deion Sanders. Two of my favorite Cowboys ever. Michael Irvin. You know how that go. Anyway, you know, I want to talk about, consistency. LaRussell is a Bay Area artist. Shout out LaRussell out of the Bay. You know what I'm saying? A really good artist, and he recently put out a video, and his point of the video was saying, if you put out if you put out 100 podcasts, on that 100th podcast, you're going to be way better than you was on that first one. You're going to have a bigger fan base than you did on that first one. Everything's going to elevate from the first to the 100th. You know what I'm saying? If you making music, your 100th song is going to be better than your first song. Your fan base is going to be bigger, etc., etc. And he basically used the 100 term, even though it's no matter how many it is, growth is growth. But he used 100 as the number. And I shared it to the group chat of the podcast. We was talking about that, and actually the homie shared it. I wanted to share it, but I just didn't because I feel like sometimes I'll be, doing too much, trying to push a little too hard. So I'll send some videos, some ideas that I might have, things that I think that we should be thinking about. But the other homie did, so I was happy. And, that was just 2 days ago. And I asked him who was going to do the next episode. Nobody said anything. And, which is fine. Hey man, they got lives. They got things they got to do. They got things they got to handle. We can't always be on the same page at all times. Like I wish we could be. But, the point I'm saying is that it's important to be consistent, and it's important to continue on the path. Don't get distracted. Don't let things deter you. You know what I'm saying? You got to keep it going. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep striving and gotta keep pushing through. It's easy. The easy thing to do is quit. The easy thing to do is stop. I ain't saying they quitting. I ain't saying they stopping. But we didn't do it today like we were supposed to. And that's a bad habit. If you got a routine, stick to that routine. If you got a mission to accomplish that mission. You know what I'm saying? So, that's what I'm saying. I made a point to go ahead and do this today because if I didn't do it today, I'd be doing the same thing with the previous podcast that I don't want to do. Man, excuse me, man, I gotta switch up the movie. I like to have movies in the background, while I do my thing, while I'm watching YouTube on my iPad or on my phone, you know what I'm saying, as I'm learning something, it's not a good idea to multitask as far as focus, but for me, it worked. When I used to study in school, I like to have music on, and that would help me memorize, because when I'm taking that test, all I gotta do is remember the song I was listening to when I was studying this part. And I'm the type, I listen to things on repeat. If you know me, you get in the car with me, it's gonna be a song that I've been playing for days straight on repeat, same song. You know what I'm saying? I've been listening to the same songs since forever. Of course I add new songs to the repertoire, but it's some songs that you done heard me play forever and ever. Shout out Gucci Mane, Big Cat LaFleur. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna get played. You know what I'm saying? Working them, Lil Wayne, shout out Weezy. That's gonna get played. You know what I'm saying? Shout out Cameron. You know what I'm saying? That's my Flea, Killer. That's the player. You know what I'm saying? Hold on, let me change this movie real quick. Let's see real quick what I'm about to put on. I ain't gonna take too long. I was just watching How to Be a Player. You know what I'm saying? One of my favorite movies that I stay watching. Friday is my favorite movie of all time. You know what I'm saying? What I'm gonna put on? Let me put on something smooth. Should I put on Godfather? You know what I'm saying? Double Take, that's a good movie. I could put that on. I kind of want to be. Man, we going Undercover Brother. That's what I'm finna put on. I'm finna put on Undercover Brother real quick, man. That's what we gonna do. Let's go ahead and get to Undercover Brother. Undercover Brother. Let's go. But yeah, man, you gotta stay consistent. You know what I'm saying? Even with the gym, I've been getting back in the gym. So, I know you see it through the hoodie. I don't wanna pop out the hoodie or nothing like that too crazy yet. Eventually I'm gonna start doing my thing. I'm gonna do it shirtless because that's just how I'll be. You know what I'm saying? But right now we're gonna keep it under wraps until we get that right. Now it ain't big, but it just ain't chisel. You know what I'm saying? But stay consistent in whatever you're doing. You know what I'm saying? In order to reach your goals. And with that being said, I was having a conversation with one of the homies you know, that I low key grew up with, and she was just telling me what she got going on. I was telling her what I got going on, just catching up a little bit about school. She getting back into school. I just finished school, and you know, she was saying like, you know, everybody knew you was smart, but you would just act like you wasn't. And I'm bringing that up to have like a little story time with y'all. So when I first went to high school, you know, I had an extra period. So I had an extra class, more than one more extra class than everybody else. So I would start school an hour earlier. And I had regular English, but I had advanced English seminar 9. You know what I'm saying? And normally you would have like I don't know what math you start off with, but I skipped to the next level math. I started off with geometry. I've always been smart, but I've always been into other things, you know what I'm saying? Which stopped me from being as studious as I should have been. And I never liked to read, which is not good. So, you know, I would be hindering myself because I could have been even further. And you know, so I did that for 2 years. And, you know, I started really getting to making money my freshman year. When I was younger, uh, I had different ways of making money. Shout out to my boy Alex. We had started a lawnmower service. We called it A&K Schoolboy Services. You know what I'm saying? And we went around. We had made business cards, and we was going around dropping them off, and we was going around mowing lawns. And we wasn't just going crazy with it, but every once in a while we get some lawns to mow. It'd be some people that let us do it every so often. So we just made a couple dollars, but nothing serious, and nothing that lasted a long time. But the mindset was there. You know, um, I'm not proud of this, but there was a time when Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards was popping, and at, as a kid in elementary school and middle school, before I matured, I used to steal because I wasn't having. My pops was in jail when I was a kid, so it was a lot of stuff I just couldn't have. I wasn't privy to. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my mama because she did a, a hell of a job. You know what I'm saying? So I wasn't no starving kid. I wasn't, what I'm saying, living on the street. I wasn't house to house. So I didn't live like that. My mom's held it down. You feel me? We was doing all right. We wasn't doing as good as we could have been, but we was doing all right. And I was steal Pokemon cards and I was selling them to people. You feel me? Because it was kids that parents had money, parents gave them allowance, they had that kind of stuff. So that's how I got my money. Okay, you get allowance, I'm gonna sell you something to get your money. You feel me? And Yu-Gi-Oh cards was a big thing, so I used to go to the stove. And some of them tougher coats, you have like an inside pocket right here, like where your pocket right here is. On the inside, it had the little, the stitching where the pocket goes. I'll grab a stack of them up, doop, doop, and get up out of there, bust them down. I got a box full of regular ones, full of holographics, all that. And I would go to school, and jug them. So I always been about trying to get my bread. I used to get regular paint, goofy, and make designs on t-shirts. And then some people want to buy the t-shirt because they see me wearing it. You feel me? So they want to wear them. You feel me? And at this point, I was getting my own money, so I used to love Air Forces. You feel me? All the crazy colors. You know what I'm saying? All the different flavors and Nike Dunks. You feel me? I did like Jordans, but I wasn't as into them as I was into Forces. Because Forces had a lot of different colors, a lot of different options. You know what I'm saying? And so I used to design little shirts. It's a lot of things I did for money before my freshman year when me and a homie, I'll get into that. That'll be a whole different story time. That's a whole, we're going to get to that. But long story short, I really got into that. And so, you know, it was hard for me to be a smart kid because I never had class with the homies. I didn't. I had class with all the white kids and all the smart kids. You feel me? My class was mostly white and Asian. I was usually the only black kid in my class, usually. So I've always been in that situation. And, you know, I ain't like everybody in that class. You know what I'm saying? My situation, circumstance, I didn't grow up like a lot of them, you know, to be able to be in that position. I just so happen to be smart, very witty. Math and science, that's my thing. And so, you know, I went to Deer Valley. And at Deer Valley, we have 4 houses because our high school was supposed to be a junior college or a college. I don't remember, a junior college or a college. So it was huge. And but we had 4 sections. We had house 1, house 2, house 3, house 4, and they divided it by intellect. Little did most people know, but I obviously could see that. You know, the house 1 was the business tech academy, so that's for everybody that was excelling in school, high test scores, promising future, college bound, taking AP classes, extra periods, that kind of thing. House 2 was for, I would say, kids who were smart but not house 1 smart. Then you had house 3, which was like, nah, I don't know what's up with them. And house 4 was just like, oh, sheesh. You understand me? But, and no, that's no disrespect to anybody. But anybody that went to that school, you start thinking about it, you be like, oh, I could see why I was in the house. But I was in house 1. And, you know, my sophomore, maybe my junior year, maybe it was sophomore year. I was heavy in it. You feel me? So at this point, I'm like, man, I'm getting sick of being around these people. They don't understand me. I got to do more work than everybody else. I got an extra period. I got more advanced classes. So I got to do more work than everybody. Everybody else get to go do this. And I got to actually focus and study and do shit. And so I started trying to figure out a way how I can get out. And, you know, you ain't just going to go to the principal's office like, oh, I don't want these classes. Like, that ain't how that works as a kid. You 14, 15, they ain't listening to you. So what I did is I started getting in trouble, started doing too much. And the last straw, I remember I was in chemistry class. And I took chemistry as a sophomore. Yeah. And so I'm in chemistry class and I'm like, man, I'm getting tired of this, bro. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get into it with somebody, right? Well, I didn't think that. I saw an opportunity. It was a dude in class and he was throwing stuff, you know what I'm saying? And he was sitting behind me. And I'm like, okay, he's throwing it at somebody that's near me. So I said, as soon as he get close enough to me, I'm gonna just start spazzing. So bro throws something, it go right over my shoulder, bounce off my desk and onto the floor. I bounce up, boom. I'm like, motherfucker, I start going crazy, right? Everybody freezing like, whoa. I start tripping. I'm like, yeah, whoop. I pick up a chair. Dunzo. For me, gotta go to the principal's office. Boom. Of course, they call security, take me to the principal's office. Boom, out. Ain't gotta get into all that. I get there and they're like, what's going on? Like, you know, you've been lashing out lately. You've been whoop. You know, you've been getting into it. You know, you've been this and that, XYZ. And I'm like, man, I'm gonna tell y'all like this. If y'all don't get me out of this class, every time I see him, I'm whooping his ass. The principal of my house was like, what? I was like, I'm telling you, I don't care. There's nothing we could talk about. I don't want to talk about it. I don't care. He was doing this and that. He made me mad. And so now every time I see bro, I'm finna get on him. So y'all better do something about it. That was my way of getting him to change my house. So eventually they did. I moved to house two, but I still had to finish out my advanced classes. You know what I'm saying? So I had to finish my chemistry and what other class did I have? Because I still had two classes in house one, but the rest of my classes was house two. And after that, it was just downhill. I wasn't college bound anymore. My junior year, I didn't take an extra period. I said I'm not doing that no more. I don't want an extra class. I want to go to school and chill in the morning with everybody else instead of being in class. You know what I'm saying? Um, and I that's why I didn't go to college right out of school. When I was done with school, I was done. As a matter of fact, by the time I got to senior year, me and the homie that I was kicking it with at the time, he wasn't even going to school. You feel me? We literally, I would literally get to school, link with him, and we'll hit up whatever group of girls we was gonna link with for the day, and we'll either go to my house because nobody was there, or we'll go to his house, and we'll do what we do. You know what I'm saying? We was getting to it. We was. That's a whole nother story time. You feel me? I'm gonna have bro get on here just so y'all know I ain't just bullshitting, making shit up. But we was really putting up numbers. You feel me? Shaq and Kobe, Jordan and Pippen. You know what I'm saying? We was dangerous. We was going to other schools. I'll get to that later though. That's a different story, but that's not what I'm talking about today. I'm saying I went through all of that to make my situation worse because I wanted to be around people that I felt like I identified with more. Which is, I got what I wanted, but I didn't get what I needed. And fast forward to now, that's why it took me to the age I'm at now to go to school, to finish. I could have been did this. If I would have known how cracking college was, I would have been went. Like I told y'all before, my little sister went to ASU. And when I was going up there to go check up on her and make sure, doing my thing, it was like, if I would have known college was going to be like this, then I would have did my thing in school so I could go here and have this kind of fun. So sometimes you can play yourself out of position thinking you know better, thinking you want to be hanging around with certain people, and I don't regret doing any of it because I had a great time. I've had a great life. I had a lot of fun. I met a lot of good people, and I was able to do a lot of things, and it all led me to be the person I am today. So I don't regret none of it. I wouldn't change it for the world, and I wouldn't make none of them not my friends. Them is my dogs for life. All them experiences. I'm thankful to God. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes you can trick yourself out of your own position, and it'll delay your success. It'll delay what's meant for you. So don't let things deter you. Stay focused. You know what I'm saying? I wish I would have had a little better direction. I wish I would have had somebody that I was willing to listen to tell me the things that I needed to hear. Because you can't there's no cookie cutter answer. And what I mean by that is, you can't just, like when you're making gingerbread mans, you can't just keep cutting out the same gingerbread man thinking you finna get a different gingerbread man. When you talking to the youth, every kid's not gonna receive your message the same way. Some people are visual, some people are audio, some people are experience based, hands on. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta figure out ways to reach different people. Everything doesn't work for everybody. And so, and again, I'm not blaming that on nobody else because that was up to me to figure that out. I chose what I wanted, and I was smart enough to know that. I chose what I wanted. But fast forward until now, that's why I'm choosing now to do this. That's why I'm choosing now to speak up to y'all and give y'all some game based on what I learned, what I done been through. And just because the homies wasn't ready to do the work today doesn't mean that I can't be ready to do my work today. Because I could have did the same thing like I did before and say, well, the homies ain't doing this, so I'm doing. No. I'm on here because I'm on a mission. Excuse me, I keep burping because I just had some in and out not too long ago. You know what I'm saying? Excuse me, but I'm on a mission. I want to give game and I want to spread love. You know what I'm saying? I want people to get some knowledge from me. You I learned a lot from other people. I learned a lot from other people's mistakes. I learned a lot from other people's successes. I learned a lot from my mistakes. I learned a lot from my successes. You know, but I'm a firm believer in I don't need to bump my head to figure something out. I can watch you bump your head and know not to do it from there. You know what I'm saying? So what I want to say is take advantage of opportunities when they come. Don't be too big to learn things because I was smart and I was able to be in different rooms with different kind of people that are like me, people that aren't like me, people that I want to be like, people that I want to be nothing like. I was able to learn from all of them. All of them taught me something. Whether it was some square shit, whether it was some street shit, whether it was some school shit, whether it was some financial shit, whatever it was, I was able to learn from all the people that I've ever interacted with. And I think that's what made me very smart, is because I knew to do that at a young age. You know what I'm saying? So, I had to take this time to get on here, and I got to be consistent. You know what I'm saying? And I got to be better. I got to do more. Once a week is cool, but if I do once a week, it'll take me 2 years to get to 100 weeks, so I can have 100 things of content. Circling back to what Russell was saying, I don't want to take that long. You know what I'm saying? I got plenty of game to share. I got plenty of stories to tell. You know what I'm saying? Especially in school. School, oh my gosh. I didn't been through so much during school. I didn't had so many experiences during school, and I didn't have so many friend groups and phases of I was kicking it with these people and this was my best friend. And I was kicking it with these people and this is my best friend. And I was kicking it with these people and this is my best friend. And thankful to God, I still got a tight relationship with all these people. I don't burn bridges, I build them. I do not burn bridges, I build them. I don't want no problems with nobody. You know what I'm saying? I ain't ducking no smoke. But I'm definitely not adding fuel to the fire. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to go about my business the best I can if you tripping. And, beyond that, blessings to you. You know what I'm saying? But, be consistent. When I first started going to the gym, because I ran track basically most of my life, I boxed, I hooped, so it's like going to the gym was nothing for me, but I had to do some studying before I could really understand how to get the development I was looking for. But before that, I had to have a goal before I even cared to study for it. And chess was my worst attribute. You know what I'm saying? Push-ups, don't ask me to know push-ups. Bench press, nigga, please. You know what I'm saying? So, but my first goal was to hit one plate on each side, 135. You know what I'm saying? And once I started going to JUCO, I took a weightlifting class, which was just us working out. You know what I'm saying? Wasn't nothing crazy. But once I did that, I said by the end of the semester, I need to hit a plate on both sides. And I did all my workouts. I was building my bench up. I wasn't doing push-ups, but my bench was getting up. And I didn't want to try it until the last week of school. And I waited until my last class, and I said, I'm ready to try 135. A plate on each side. And when I did it, it was crazy. I felt good. I felt so good. I felt super like, oh yeah, can't no what? I just hit a plate on both. But I was already doing X, Y, and Z. Now what I'm finna do? You know what I'm saying? So fast forward a little bit. Once I got to college, I was with some dudes that lift weights, and at this point, I didn't lift the weights for a minute. You know what I'm saying? I'm definitely bigger, but I didn't take it as serious, and so I started watching people like Ronnie Coleman, Dexter Jackson. You know what I'm saying? What's my man name? I can't even think. Now I'm acting funny. Like Bradley Martins. Dang, I can't even think of everybody now that I'm on the spot. But Arnold Schwarzenegger. I was looking at all of them. What's my name? CT Fletcher. I was watching all of them and learning how they lift weights, why they lift the weights that they lift, and how they do what they do. My next goal was 2 plates. It took me a little longer than a semester, but eventually I hit 2 plates. And I'm like, oh yeah, You know, it, it's a wrap now. But you know, it took discipline to get there. It took consistency to get there, and that's what I'm saying. And it feels good when you reach your goals. You know what I'm saying? When I first started investing, you know, my first goal when I got my Robinhood was to get $1,000 in my account. You know, and I did that. That was pretty easy. And I was like, I really invested $1,000. You know, at first I was scared to do it because I didn't really understand all of how it worked, but I knew enough. And then I said, okay, let me get to 5,000. Boom. I'm like, okay, let me get to 10,000. When I hit 10,000, I really felt like I did something. You know, I had some crypto. You know, I got a ledger of cold storage. So you feel me? I had crypto. I had a Robinhood. And by that time, I had a Charles Schwab. You know, so I have multiple portfolios, multiple accounts, and all together, I had over 10,000. I hit my goal. So I'm saying all this to say, be diligent. You know what I'm saying? Be consistent, and you will hit your goal. Of course, you got to make a goal to want to hit to give you the inspiration to continue. But man, do that, because it ain't nothing, man. Everybody out here doing something. You know, it's just, are you doing something positive or negative? Are you doing something that's taking you forward or taking you backward? Are you doing something that's helping you or hindering you? You know what I'm saying? So with that in mind, you know, I wanna thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for being here to Player Posse. You know what I'm saying? But with that in mind, I had to get back on here. You know what I'm saying? I had to get back on here. I got so many stories, man. I got so many stories. I got so many experiences. It's so many things that I've done, so many things that I want to do, so many things that I'm currently doing now. You know what I'm saying? When 2020 hit and COVID smacked the world, a lot of things changed, man. And one thing I realized is, you know, I gotta work. Man, I gotta get a job. Like, you feel me? Like, because it ain't doing with it. You feel me? Like, we shut down right now, so ain't no outside, ain't none of that. I gotta get a job. You know, I ended up opening an LLC, and that's when I started investing in 2020. I said, okay, I'm gonna start this LLC because I knew I was gonna do it. It was just a matter of when. I knew I was gonna start taking investing serious. It was just a matter of when. But again, you feel me? So, but that's when I started my LLC. You feel me? From the umbrella. You know what I'm saying? We here now. I got a shirt press over there. You feel me? I got a shirt press over there. And you know, I got the YouTube. You know what I'm saying? I got my EIN. You know what I'm saying? I got a website, a domain. You know what I'm saying? Like, I did all of that, and I wasn't diligent in continuing what I needed to do to take it further. I covered my bases though. You know what I'm saying? I started off with what I felt like I needed to really have an actual LLC. You know what I'm saying? To build the foundation, but I didn't keep running with it. So now I'm at the point where it's like, okay, I'm done with school. You know, a new leaf has been turned and all of that. So now I'm ready to really focus on this. And this is what I'm doing, because it was my plan before, and I put it on pause, but I picked it back up, and now it's time to be diligent in that. You know what I'm saying? Investing, I never stopped doing that. You know, and you know, luckily, because when COVID hit, I had to take a break from school too, because they was talking about, you know, you gotta have the vaccine for this and that, and then it's gonna be all online. And you know, I'm a chemistry major, so online, I'm a hands-on learner. I gotta be in person. And like I said, if I'm not at school, I ain't worried about that. I got other things I'm doing. I got other things going on, so I need to do my stuff at school. And if this campus is closed, if I can't do it, then guess what? that's not going to be a strategy for success for me. So I took a break until the campus opened back up, until they were more lenient on the rules about people who can be on campus. And I went back and knocked it out. because that was my goal. And I wasn't gonna let nothing stop me. If I start something, I gotta finish. I've always been that way. If I start it, I gotta finish. I gotta be a man of my word. I gotta do what I say I'm gonna do. Sometimes I'll just say, I'm gonna do this to make sure that I do it because I spoke it out of my mouth. And if I said it, I gotta do it, even if I only said it to myself. That's how serious I am about it. And that's how serious you should be about it. But you know what I'm saying? I did what I had to do, and now I'm doing what I have to do. And I'm trying to reach higher heights and different goals that I'm setting out and putting out for myself. And so, that's why we're here now. That's why we're back at another episode Trey. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna make these videos longer and longer. I'm gonna do some better editing. I'm gonna get better programs to edit with, better sounds to throw in there, better music. And all the music is original right now. You know what I'm saying? I made all these little weak ass beats y'all hearing. I made them. You know what I'm saying? I ain't. When I first got into school, man, should I talk about that right now? When I first started going to JUCO, I did it. Well, I'll talk about that too. But long story short, the first classes I was taking was beat making classes. You know what I'm saying? Learning how to use Pro Tools and whatnot, because I got a lot of problems that's in music. We'll talk about that as well. And so these are beats that I made like 2013 or something like that. Yeah, like 2013. These are like 2013 beats that I made, while I was in class, learning how to do whatever, put them together, downloading sounds, shout out 808 Mafia, because they put out 808, they put out all these free sound kits that I was able to download, and I got them on thumb drive, so I was using some of them, and that's how I made these beats. So the beats that you hear on here is original, and now I'm gonna have to make beats, you feel me, to have more original beats, because I only got like 20 beats that I already made. I ain't really touched them since then, but I gotta make more beats. I gotta make more videos. I gotta get more books, because I probably only got like 40 books. You know what I'm saying? So after 40 episodes, guess what? I gotta have some more books for y'all to keep it going. So this is gonna make me work more, gonna make me produce more, gonna make me be greater. And I'm thankful for that. You know what I'm saying? Thankful for the Player Posse. You know what I'm saying? Shout out YouTube for giving me a platform. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody I grew up with, all the homies that I got stories with. You know what I'm saying? That helped me be the man I am today. That helped me grow. You know what I'm saying? That I learned from. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to my family. My mother for birthing me and loving me. You know what I'm saying? And keeping me. And doing everything she did. Shout out to a lot of people. It's nothing but love here, man. I'm not doing nothing but showing love. You know what I'm saying? Some of the stories might be a little, you feel me? So I'm not gonna really want to say everybody's name, and I gotta make sure that I talk to certain people before I talk about certain stuff to see what they own. Make sure they ain't, can't get mixed up in nothing. Statute limitations is up. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man. Shout out to y'all, man. Shout out to my peoples, man. Shout out to YouTube, you know what I'm saying? You know what it is, it's your boy Doo-Wop. You know what I'm talking about? Doo-Wop the Don, Big Bop, you know what I'm saying? Antioch Wop, you know what I mean? So, with that being said, I'm about to get up out of here real quick, but it ain't gonna be too long before I come back with another one, you know what I'm saying? Because I said it, and I'm gonna do more, I'm gonna do better, I'm gonna be more frequent, you know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, we going and we growing. This all off the cuff. I ain't got no script, I ain't reading nothing. You know what I'm saying? I don't got no cue cards or nothing nowhere. You know what I'm saying? This is real. It's real and it's raw. And maybe it ain't the best way to do it. So like I always say, man, get in the comment section, man. Tell me what you like. Tell me what you don't like. Tell me what I should do. Tell me what I shouldn't do. Tell me what you want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? This we building a community here. You feel me? Because it all comes from the Umbrella University. You know what I'm saying? FTU. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the boy. Howdy.